Now from Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
Welcome to Sports Tonight. I'm sports producer Scott Pennyman here on a beautiful Friday here with the great Ellie.
Hi.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Nice day outside today too.
Very nice. I'm dressed like it's the middle of June. It is February 16th.
And that's beautiful. And it's the kind of day that gets you thinking about baseball, right?
Yes.
Braves down in Florida, right? Down in Florida for spring training, getting ready for the upcoming season. Probably another 100-win season, another playoff season.
World Series or bust.
World Series or bust. Look, we are all over it, all right? So we have our own Emily Gagnon down in Florida, along with Lee Smith. They're down there getting all of the everything you need, everything you need, Braves, right? I mean, players, pitchers and catchers are there right now, and they're trying to figure things out. They're down there getting the kinks worked out for the season. So all week we're down there through the weekend and everything like that, getting sound from the players as they get ready for the season. You ready to take that, Ellie?
Let's listen in.
Let's listen in on the Braves getting ready for the season down in spring training.
Good to see Acuna show up. Did you
Yeah.
get to watch him hit?
No, I didn't get to see him hit. I was watching guys throw. I know what he looks like.
Who's to say just about, he played winter ball, and yet he arrives early as well.
No, I mean, all of them guys. It's amazing how many guys have been in camp for, the last week. And I think now we probably got all but a couple of guys as far as with all the position players. So, I look at, they're ready to get going, and you have a facility like this. It's kind of why we built it, is to lure them down here and give them that opportunity. I think I don't know how many minor league guys are here on their own, and but we put them up, feed them, and it's awesome.
Obviously, guys don't have to be here until Tuesday, the position guys, but do you like that they're itching to get out here early?
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is what these guys are built for, and so it's always good to see them, especially here early. And most of the time, if the guys aren't here, there's a reason. I mean, they have family obligations or something like that they got to tend to. But most of the time, if they're able, they're going to be here, and they, they're ready to get going. I mean, their clock went off just like all of us is, and so it is. It's good to see everybody and how good they look, and it's just a sign that here we are. We're back at it.
You've seen tons of talented players over the years. With what Acuna did last year, at any point it surprises you?
I don't know that anything he's going to do surprises me. I said before, it's like he's going to set records that probably he's the only one that's going to be able to outdo him, really. I mean, just what and the scary part is he's at an age where he's going to get better. He's going to figure things out. He's going to get better, learn to do it, and it's just. It's good to see him out here, like somebody asked, just bouncing around and happy and ready to go.
He talked a little bit about the work he did in the off season, both physically and mentally, being more resilient if something goes wrong. Talking about him wanting to continue to get better, what does that say about him?
No, it's just it's just the way these guys are built. I mean, I don't think they're ever satisfied, and I think they always see in this game. I don't know that anybody ever figures this sport out, and there's always something to learn. There's something to improve on. And when guys are aware of it like that, it's like I say, the sky's the limit for players like that.
I feel like about how he was talking about how he would like to be a Brave for life. That's pretty rare these days. Just how cool would that be? Just all the players.
Oh, it'd be great. I mean, I'm sure that's the hope of all the Braves fans and everybody and the organization, and because it's a rare talent like that. You'd love to see him in this uniform and see him retire and go into the Hall of Fame with that A on his cap.
I think back to Bobby and Andrew, kind of how Bobby watched him grow up. You've now watched Ronnie grow up. He's married with children now.
I know.
How different is he from the kid that
No, he's growing up. I mean, he's maturing, I think, as a person. That's the first thing I asked him, you bring the kids with you. And it's, it's kind of cool to watch him, how he interacts with his children and the good dad that he is. And it's amazing where they come. I remember having him. We were in Jupiter, and he was playing right field. And I remember he went into a corner, and I think TP was sitting there by me, and I was like, who the hell was that? And made that throw, and it was Ronald. It just kind of – and I used to tell, I remember Jonathan when he was running the minor leagues, I said, don't send that kid over because I'm going to play him, if you want him to get a break, because I wanted to see him play.
Were you able to
NL LDS, and he said, I played terribly. There's no secret. I mean, just for him to be that accountable, we didn't really
Yeah,
ask
well,
him
I
to
just
do
say
it.
the kid, he's maturing, like what they all are. They're all maturing. They're all, you know, this whole team was young major leaguers, and now they're still young major leaguers with a lot of experience behind them, and as they mature and grow, and you see that. That's just, I think, all part of the maturation process.
Did you get a chance to see Sale out there?
Yeah,
back
I
there?
did. I've watched him now. I think I've seen 3 sides. It's pretty good. It's fun to watch. It's you know, it's kind of like that must-see TV when he throws, because it's interesting, and it's just talking to him and watching him throw, and it's really good.
What specifically did you?
Yeah, a lot of different. We got a lot of different angles going on out there with especially the left-handers. Now, I don't know that any two are the same. I mean, they all have a little uniqueness about all of them, which is, you know, it's a fun thing to sit out back there and watch those guys, the whole group throw. I mean, some very impressive guys.
Why would you call Sale must-watch TV?
Just the stuff, just watching him. Like I say, it's just kind of his angles and just how the ball comes out of his hand and the movement and all and you can just have the command that's there. It's really, really good.
It's always a great feeling getting back in here and getting on the field with the guys. Talk to some dudes you haven't seen in a couple months and start hanging out and getting back to baseball, so feeling good.
What are your expectations just kind of for this lineup again? I mean, it was pretty solid, especially the first 3, and you had an incredible season as well.
Yeah, I think we just continue to keep doing what we're doing. You know, it might not be exactly how it was last year. It might be better. We don't know. We just got to put our head down and continue to do what we do. There's no doubt we're going to stay on top of our work, and everybody prepares well. So hopefully just continue the same.
Obviously, you guys are all a tight-knit group. You guys have been around each other for a minute now. You're one of the newer ones. But Jared Kelnick is new, and he's been around early with you guys. How's it been like being around him early?
He's been good. Seems like a great guy. You can tell right away the talent is through the roof. So excited to have him here. He stopped into Atlanta and hit the place I hit in the off season for a few days. Was able to chat with him. He's been great in here, and seems like he's hitting the ground running.
What do you, expectation-wise, think for Ronald Acuna over there? When you watch what he did last season, I mean, do you just expect even more from him this season?
I mean, you can't set any limitations on him. I wouldn't be shocked by anything that he did, honestly, but no, it's not like we're expecting some major thing. It's going to be a great season regardless of what he does. He's one of the best players in the game, so I'll sit back and watch.
Even after having the great season you had at the plate, what are things that you wanted to improve on this offseason?
You know, just continuing to work, consistency. You know, I thought defense could have been a little better. You know, there's always going to be spells during the season where you feel like you don't have the best at-bats for a week, 2 weeks that you can always improve on. And the name of the game is like cutting down the lulls to a shorter period, make them 2 days instead of a week, and hopefully continue to see some more results from it.
What have you enjoyed about playing for Snit?
I love how old school Snit is. You know, it's no BS. It's show up, get your work done, do what you need to do to play. He expects us to be in the lineup, which I love. I think that's one of the best things we do is we have in a game where matchups and numbers and everything is so big, and you see a different lineup, some teams every single day, different orders. I love what we do. You're showing up, you know where you're hitting, you know where you're playing. It's let's go. So I love that Snit kind of sets that tone, and he's just a quiet, no BS, go play.
How long did? Go ahead, Cody.
A lot of folks have talked about October already and the goals that this team has. Do you like to look that far ahead, or you like? I mean, that's a long time from now. Do you like to just stay right here?
Listen, I mean, we all got a sour taste in our mouth from the last 2 years. It's, you know, we've had great regular seasons and we've lost in the first round that we played, and we're not going to be happy about it. You know, I think everybody in here is looking at us holding a World Series trophy and in their minds, and that's how you have to go and compete. You know, not saying that's it's as easy as just thinking about it and happening, because a lot of it is who's the hot team at the right time. But all we can do is continue to do our everyday thing. Like I said, we're going to go play regular season, hopefully be in a spot where we win the division and have a chance to make a run in the playoffs. And but like I said, that there's a very sour taste when you lose in the playoffs, and especially with the kind of club that we have here. So
yesterday and trying to build off of that, but yeah, mostly just catching up with everyone and really excited to be back with this group. You always forget how much you really enjoy coming to the field.
How do you build upon your year last year?
Well, staying healthy is the first thing. You know, always been told the best ability is availability, so just being able to make my starts every 5th day and being able to take the ball for, 33 times, that's the goal.
And Thoppole said yesterday you kind of naturally sprung up free agency on your own at Braves Fest. Is it something that's kind of in the back of your mind at this point?
I was asked about it, so I mean, I answered the questions that I did back then and still feel the same way. I love being here, but at this point right now, I'm really just focusing on getting ready for the season.
Do you try new things at spring training? Is this a time to try a new pitch or to tweak something, or you just kind of need to get what you do where it needs to be?
Yeah, I think right now it's just about getting ready for the season, getting a really good foundation and base, and it's a long year. Got a lot of pitches, got a lot of different things going right now that I've developed over the years, so it's mostly about sharpening those and just getting ready.
I remember you saying something about you felt kind of the healthiest that you felt in a long time. So how does this spring kind of maybe feel different compared to past years for you physically?
It still holds true. I feel great, just health-wise and everything. So maintaining weight really well, and that's really big for me, especially going throughout the season. You tend to lose some weight, so being able to kind of being more stable on that, just feel strong and just being able to weather the season, because it is a long one and it breaks you down. So to be able to have a good starting point, it's really important.
When you say you're trying to keep weight on, is it something that, are you having more protein shakes? Like what kind of adjustments have you had to make to keep that on?
I'd say just more diet, just being more conscious of your diet, being able to, not have a lot of fried fast food, stuff like that, eating a little bit cleaner and just being more conscious of that.
Can you speak to the depth of your group? The pitcher staff is deep, a lot of guys who can get it done. Just speak to the rotation you guys have and how cool it is to have you look over so many guys who can get it done.
I feel like every year we get a little bit deeper, just whether it's lineup-wise or pitching, and I feel like we don't really have holes this year. We've got 5+ stars. We got more that are extremely talented, and they're gonna that we're gonna need throughout the year. The bullpen is obviously extremely talented. I'm really excited to kind of see what they end up doing, and then obviously our offense is, they were the best in baseball last year, and we still have a lot of the same guys, and even added a couple. So, we've got a really, really talented and great team, and now it's just going out there and showing it on the field.
The idea of a healthy Chris Sale, how exciting is that to add to this rotation?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, he's been, when he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. So to be able to add him and bring in a winning mindset and just kind of not messing around, like we're going to get after it, and there's an intensity there that you can really feel, and you can feel his presence. So to be able to have someone to be able to come in and as accomplished and as successful as he's been, we're really, really happy to have him here.
What would define as successful?
There's 81 home games a year. We're present at every single one of them.
These Cobb County canines may be cute.
Hey, come on, sit. Sit.
But they're also doggone smart.
Good check.
They sniff out basically all on the landscaping, all along the sides of the structures, the trash bins.
Brave and Champ are both specifically trained to detect explosives. The Braves organization purchased both of them for the Cobb County Police Department to help patrol home games and large-scale events at the Battery. This upcoming season will be Champ's rookie year.
They're just invaluable to keeping the property safe.
Dale Bolenbaugh is head of security at the Battery. He says the $10,000 dogs have skills that their human handlers don't. They're trained to detect about 30 different odors.
They have the sense of smell that humans don't. I'm not able to go up to bag and tell you that there could be explosives in that bag, and that's where they're most important.
Good check, big boy. Hey, check here. Good check.
Over the last 4 years, Lieutenant Mark Blakeney, commander of Cobb's Canine Unit, says Brave has helped detect drugs and weapons at the Battery and Truist Park. Thankfully, he hasn't found any explosives, but Bolenbaugh hopes to keep adding to the Canine Squad to keep visitors here safe.
It's a huge property to try to secure for our guests and fans, and we couldn't do it without the outstanding partnership we have with Cobb PD.
All right, we're going to shift some gears a little bit. We've talked a lot about baseball and spring training. Of course, everybody's so fired up for that. But let's shift the gears a little bit to football. Spent the last couple of days out with the Falcons, out in Flowery Branch. Obviously, Raheem Morris takes over as the head coach of the Falcons. Bunch of new staff members, well, there are some guys who remain from the last coaching staff that are with the Falcons still that Raheem kept over, but brought in a bunch of new guys, bunch of new different assistant coaches and everything like that are going to be helping him turn the Falcons into what they need to be. I was out there the last couple of days. I tell you what, they can tell you better for themselves, right? I really like this coaching staff. I really like what Raheem Morris is doing out there with his coaching staff. Let's hear from some of those guys out there about what they plan to do in 2024 roster-wise and with everything.
Being part of this staff and being here the last 3 years, going on to year 4, it's always great to help other people out. You know, there's things that you learn, whether you're in the building, around the neighborhoods, when it comes to new families. It's always good to lend a helping hand when it comes to that. Whether you have new coaches, new families, where the printer's at, all those different things. So try and make everything a little bit easier for everybody.
Obviously, whenever you've been through coaching transitions before.
Yes, sir.
When everything happened, did you have a sense that maybe you would be back? Like, at what point do you kind of say, okay, this is maybe going to happen and I'm going to stay versus, there were reports that, you had interviewed in New England and there were had other places. Was there ever a sense that, like, okay, this is going to maybe be how this goes?
Ideally, coaching football, coaching in the NFL, that's what you sign up for. It comes with the business, it comes with the territory. When coaching in the NFL is very transactional. It can be very transactional. Having a family, raising my kids out here, ideally you don't want to try to move them a lot. And as a professional, that's my personal life, and as a professional, this is a great organization to work for. So if there was any opportunity to stay, those were things that we were going to highly consider as a family, and then myself as a coach, growing as a professional in this business. When it comes to that, like hoping and wishing, all I could do as a person, as an individual, and as a coach is make sure that these 3 years as I've been here and as I've been here as a coach, I put my best foot forward. I could wake up knowing that I worked my tail off, very respectful to everybody in the building, and I put my best foot forward, and my intent and everything that I do as a coach was for the players in this organization. If there's no players, there's no coach. So knowing that, I couldn't be fixated on what was going to happen in the future. All I could do is just put my best foot forward, knowing that I, did everything I could to help our players, help this organization, and then whatever happens, happens. And I know that, the man up above, he'll never put me in a position that I can't handle. So those were things that I processed, and as I went through going into this offseason.
Did you have a prior relationship with Raheem, or where the connection, I guess, how does that work, where you talk philosophies, and how do you seal a deal with him?
I've known Raheem for a while. I never worked with Raheem, but we have mutual colleagues and friends that he's worked with, that I've worked with, that were some guys that were mentors of mine, and it just ended up working out that way. I'm very excited to work with Coach Morris. He's an amazing individual. As you talk about him as a person, as a man, as a father, a husband, as a coach, he's a multiplier. And I believe that leaders build leaders. Sorry, I got some construction going on in the back. Leaders build leaders, when it comes to that. So any opportunity to work with a coach, a professional, a Super Bowl champ like Coach Morris, those are opportunities that you can't pass up. And I'm very fortunate and very blessed to be a part of this organization, this coaching staff.
Marquise, I know it's very early on and everyone's still getting their feet underneath them, but with Raheem leading the way, what feels the most different just initially off the bat about how he'll operate this organization?
His energy. He's been here before. This organization means the world to him. And for him to come back in a different capacity, in a permanent role, you can see how much he cares for everybody in the building and how welcoming it is for everybody that's seeing him coming back into the building. You can see him, he's a great football coach. He's coached on both sides of the football, very knowledgeable, very passionate about his craft and helping others. And, I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for others helping me. Same thing with Coach Morris. So he understands that, and he understands the role that it takes to help, build our coaching staff, build our players, and put us in better positions to going forward. But the energy's been great and very excited. He's done a great job of being very collaborative, like he's spoken about prior in prior conferences, press conferences, and that's real. He's very collaborative. He wants to talk through things, and when we leave that room, we're leaving with one answer. But it's okay to disagree about certain things and have your whys and why you want to do certain things, whether you're talking about offense, defense, special teams. But it's very collaborative and it's great energy.
First of all, I'll say this. I've been preparing for this since 1999, my first year as coach, and I was an undergrad assistant at Eastern Washington University. This has been a dream of mine for my whole coaching career. Most guys, their dream is to be a head football coach. My dream was to be a defensive coordinator in the National Football League. And so this has been an awesome journey, and I'm so excited for this moment and this opportunity. Calling plays, in college and the NFL, there's not a huge difference. What's different right now is the NFL game is going from 2-back more to 1-back. Back when I was in the NFL years ago, a lot of 2-back, and the college game was 1-back. And so what you're seeing is a lot of these college quarterbacks, with all the spread open offenses that have happened in the last decade, all those college quarterbacks are graduating from college, and guess where they're coming? They're coming to the National Football League. And so really the cool thing is a lot of the offenses that we were stopping back in college over the last decade, those offenses are now trickling up to the NFL. And so a lot of plays that we're seeing and that everybody's seeing around the league are a lot of plays that you saw at Oregon, at Ohio State. And so there's actually a lot of recall of some of these offenses that we have to stop that I've seen before. Now, the NFL coaches do a great job of honing in and changing and even making better those plays that happen at the college level.
Jimmy, Josh Kendall with The Athletic. Why was this your dream? Why was this your dream instead of being a head coach?
Yeah, I love defensive football. I love the competitive.
Well, look, hopefully the Falcons going in the right direction this year. And I think really they have the coaches, just really the offensive coordinator Jimmy Lake and Zach Robinson.
I'm excited for Zach Robinson on this team.
Yeah, I mean Zach seems like he's been well trained with who he's been with, and then you look at Jimmy Lake, they both kind of come back from that same sort of background. So I think those are really good assistant coaches that the Rams put in place. But of course, the number one thing in the offseason for the Falcons is finding out what they're going to do at the quarterback position. So we'll see.
We'll see.
So let's quickly flip the page here. Look, I mean, and when you brought this topic to me, Ellie, this was so.
Let's go.
This hit my heart so much. The NCAA football video game set that come out this summer. They came out with a trailer. Now there was no real. There was game action.
There was no actual game footage. It was mostly a dude sewing a jersey in the middle of the Rose Bowl, and also some footage of the developers putting together assets like the Alabama mascot, the Gator down in Florida. But God, I am still so excited for this game.
Look, they're doing some great teasing with this game, right? Because they're just giving you snippets. They're letting you know, look, it's coming. We are doing a game. and it's coming. So they're giving you all of the little tidbits. I look on YouTube every once in a while, and I want to see because look, I'm 45 years old, and I can't wait to play this game just because I had all the old ones. So I'm excited, and I think this is going to be one of the more anticipated games in a long time.
My memories of Madden and NCAA college football are like 08 to 2012. Like that, to me, that was sort of the heyday.
It was.
And they haven't had an NCAA game since 2014, and I am so excited.
Right.
I want this back.
And I still have that 2014 game too. And sometimes I'll double back.
God,
and play
copies are so expensive nowadays just because like they haven't made one in 10 years.
You can just download it, can't you?
I don't think it's available on like Xbox or PSN. You have to have the physical disc.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe I'll save it. It'd be worth something.
They are worth quite a pretty penny. I've looked. It is.
Well, it'll be worth something until the next one comes out. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, look. Let's talk some NBA All-Star Weekend, right? Obviously, this is we call it mid-season, but it's really past the mid-season point.
Yeah,
NBA
like
All-Star
almost
Weekend.
2/3.
What event are you looking forward to?
The 3-point contest.
Of course.
It's got to be the 3-point contest, right?
Right. I mean, just when you look, I was looking at some of the contestants in the 3-point contest, and besides, so when you look at who's in it, I mean, this is kind of the who's who of 3-point shooters in the NBA, right? I mean, you got Malik Beasley from the Bucks, who's pretty much the only role player in this whole competition. I mean, you have Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Donovan Mitchell. From my Cavaliers, I think he's going to win it. And then you have Karl Anthony Towns and Trey. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns won this thing. He's a big man.
He's a center.
That lets you know how far the NBA has come as far as 3-point shooting when a center who's won it before is in the contest. And then you got Trae Young, of course, who will be one of the favorites in the contest, obviously. So who do you like to win? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm feeling Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson?
It's a gut feeling. I can't explain it to you. I'm feeling it.
Okay.
I'm feeling a Brunson win.
I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell just because one.
He's your boy.
Just because
he's your boy.
I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and most of my friends who watch this show will be calling my phone after the show if I don't pick Donovan Mitchell. But so I have to do right by them. But look, I mean, obviously Trae Young has a great opportunity to win. I mean, as far as just pure 3-point shooters, he might be the best of that in those, But I think the great thing about this contest, though, is that you have great players in the contest, and I wish the slam dunk contest would grasp the same thing. Well, I think the problem
hasn't been what it used to be.
No, but I think part of the problem is that you normally don't have great players in these contests. That's what makes these contests so great. Like back in the day when I was so young to even remember, but I remember
Vince
my friends.
Carter.
Yeah,
it's over.
Vince
It's
Carter
over.
being in it, Tracy McGrady. That was like the most fun dunk contest that I can remember. But even a generation before that, when you had Michael and Dominique Wilkins, back when I was, before I could really even remember. But that's when it was fun because you had great players in these competitions. That's what makes these things fun, is having great players. And that's why the 3-point contest is so good, because you have great players in that contest. And I think the slam dunk contest could make a comeback if you have more great players participating.
All right, really quick, what's on your mind? It's got to be Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, wow.
Becoming the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's basketball. This woman is incredible.
Great player.
Great player. When she goes into the WNBA, she's going to go number 1 to the Indiana Fever in this next draft. And
it's not going to be crazy, though. Just when you look at, and I hope this draft does a lot for the WNBA, because when you consider the kind
WNBA
of players,
games are fun.
Right. But I think what they need is more players of name value, and Caitlin Clark has that coming out of college, along with Angel Reese. We're also looking
who's probably going to go number 2.
Right. Or it's definitely going to go not too far after her. I think that's what the WNBA needs from a PR standpoint, and just to get more people into these games is to get more recognizable names, get some rivalries going. And I think, look, that's what the NBA did in the late 1970s with Magic and Bird, getting those guys. And so I think the WNBA following the same roadmap, who knows where it can end up.
All right, we got to get out of here. Ellie Parker, for Scott Pennyman, have a good weekend.
Happy Friday, everybody.